Guys, what's going on? What is going on in the world of boxing? Bit of a mess, isn't it? But it's our mess. Yeah. We believe in it. We love it. We roll around in that mess from time to time like pigs in a sty. That's what we're here for. Yeah. Guys, Belfast boxing and please. Apparently. This is a non-topic specific boxing thing. Anyway, basically we're just going to chat a little bit about whatever comes up. Just whatever occurs to us, you know. Because, I mean, basically you can do all the preparation you want, but if you come up against an opponent where you're outmatched, there's not really much you can do. You're going to get stuffed. So sometimes it's better just to fool around a bit, you know. You should be preparing, you should be eating right. But you need a couple of days just to chill, don't you? Sometimes you need a couple of days just to just let the system sort of settle a wee bit, you know. Speaking of the system, been looking into this Turki Sheikh. He's an interesting character. He's got loads of money, doesn't he? Seems to be able to do whatever he wants, when he wants. And luckily for us, what he wants is to put on good fights, you know, the best against the best. You'd sort of see, I mean, that was all fantastic to begin with when the fights were in Saudi, and it was mostly involving Fish Eyes and Eddie Hearns. Those guys were in there, you know, and Tyson Fury's manager, Spencer Bryan, I believe. So that was all good, but we didn't really know if it would translate really into the American idiom. And we're starting to see, you know, that's percolating now, isn't it? You know, they've done this bit of stuff over in LA. Bud Crawford versus Israel Madridov. Good fight, great card, Eminem singing. So it was good, like, well, it's sort of starting to get up the noses now of the likes of your De La Hoyas, and I see Bernard Hopkins had a few words with him and stuff like that as well. But, you know, Turki Sheikh, I think he's sort of like unprepossessing. I don't know what that word means, right? But we're going to use that and see what happens, right? So he's sort of, I don't want to say he comes across a bit daft, but when he comes across in his interviews, he's not like an Espinosa type or something like that, where it's very formal, and I'm going to speak in legalese, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, you know what I mean? Keeping everything strictly business. He's just a big fan, you know, and he just talks away and stuff. But I think some people might mistake that, you know, for a weakness and think, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, he's just got loads of money. But I kind of like him. I think, you know what I mean, he's like accessible. You know, and sometimes he takes the whole outfit off, and he's got the sunglasses on, the beard, you know, he looks kind of good, like, no homo. And he's all about the games, he wants to get the console games going and stuff like that. So I think that's positive, you know, but the Yanks don't like it, you know. It's it's kind of like when Eddie Hearn first come over, you know, with DAZN, all guns blazing and stuff like that, and they already have sort of their hierarchy, their hegemony set up there, you know what I mean? Don't be interfering. We have this, you know, go, you do whatever you want over there, Hearn. You know what I mean? And now Turkey's come in as well, but money talks, doesn't it? So, so he's all good, man. He's all good. I think he'd be grand, like. But it is almost a bit too much, you know, as far as these guys say it. It's like, wait a second, you want us to put on the best fights, everything the fans want to see, and just give them that all the time. That's not really, that's not really how business works, you know what I mean? You got to be somewhat more realistic about the thing. You would have thought, like, you know, that as long as we're getting good fights. But I do think it's more because the Saudi sort of takeover is being personalised or personified by this figure, you know, Turkey, and it's all Turkey this and Turkey that. And you can sort of attach all that to him and say, well, it's this fella's coming in here and meddling, you know what I mean? But he's just really a spokesperson, isn't he? You know, much as Hearn is for Matchroom, you know, DAZN and what else have you, you know. But it's interesting because he's sort of in no man's land as well. He's not exactly a promoter or who knows who he is, you know. He's like a fundraiser. He just sort of, because he's still a fan, he can just sort of amble off. Like Espinoza might be chatting all sorts of nonsense to him, and he just be like, no, I'm away over here to talk about PlayStation with fucking Bernard Hopkins. See what happens then. So I think it's good, you know, and it's, you know, we're seeing big changes in boxing anyway this past few years with the influencer stuff and, you know, your Jake Pauls and stuff like that. I suppose the two must be connected a wee bit. I don't really know, but something to think about. You know, like a video and subscribe and comment and all that too. Please do. Please. On behalf of Turkey Al Sheikh, I implore you, I beseech you to do those three things in whatever order works for you. But yeah, no, aside from that, I was watching a few fights and stuff earlier on. Funny, I was out at the bar last night and I was having a pint with a self-confessed casual. And it was one of these, a bit like Turkey, you know, he come on and he was like, oh, I'm just a casual, and we were talking and stuff, and next thing he was reading off all these facts and talking about Ricky Hatton and stuff, and I was like, what? Turkey? What's going on here, you know? But one of the fights we spoke about was Canelo Mayweather. And I was picking up Mayweather, like I love Mayweather, you know. And he was saying, he get into a bit of trouble and all, didn't he? And I was saying, yeah, he had a fight, you know, he's no stranger to controversy, you know what I mean? That's kind of why you like him too, isn't it? You know, and it's nothing new in boxing, like, so. But anyway, we spoke about that particular fight, and he was saying, you know, well, you know, Mayweather made a mug out of him and all this here, and it's like, hey man, fucking Canelo was alright in that fight, you know, and it was a massive learning fight from him. You know, as we all know, after that Canelo, it was like an upskilling section, just a wee section. It was an upskilling session, I think is what it was, and a sort of man against boy type of thing, wasn't it? Like Canelo, the first 4 rounds, his composure was there and stuff, and it was great. And then he was, I wouldn't say he was getting really, really frustrated, but he had to just come up against the reality that he was fighting Mayweather, you know what I mean? And everything that he was trying, nothing was really working, you know. And Mayweather was doing something different every round, you know. He was have you thought about this? You have now, you know, so. You could see then the sweat was on Canelo's brow. The fringe had sort of just flopped down, you know. But he hung in there to the very end, you know what I mean? And he never stopped trying. I think there's a lot to be said for that, you know what I mean? And that could be anything, you know, in the boxing ring, outside of the boxing ring. Sometimes you can in those situations and, you know, you're free to walk out the door at any time. But Canelo stuck in there to the end, and I think there's something to be said for it, you know. But yeah, it was interesting to watch. You had Bernstein. Al Bernstein was commentating on it. I always liked him, you know. He sings and all. He's got like albums and stuff out. I've never listened to any of them, but that's what he does. He's a nice guy, Bernstein, isn't he? And then Paulie Malignaggi was in there too, like, and that was great because we don't get to hear him on fights anymore, you know, in the mainstream, and he really knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? I think Bernstein pretty much knew the score too, but he was like, Paulie's the expert here, so we're gonna let him handle things here. It's just interesting, you know. I don't know if these things are worthy of even thinking about, but I don't know, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But it was a good fight, you know. And then after that, there was a great, oh, hang on 2 seconds. Oh, Jesus. There was a great compilation video that somebody had done of some of the greatest knockouts by the Four Kings. It was fantastic because it was dramatic music, and you know, you had the old school commentary and everything. And I know I'm a bit like Turkey, you know. It's like I don't really have the money, but I would like to see something close to that, you know, get back to it. But the action, the fight, and everything is just different to what we get nowadays, you know. And you know, you can't help but just be a product of your era, you know. So I think that's all it really is, you know. But I just clicked a boxing scene there, right? And Denzel Bentley picks wondrous right uppercut to stop Derek Ozaze. Didn't get seeing that fight. I wish I had have though. And then later on tonight, this will be happening very shortly, won't it? Christian and Bailey. So what are we at the super middleweights here? Against Sergey Derevyanchenko. That'll be a great fight. Might watch that. Maybe I'll do a video about it. I might end up just watching interviews with Turki Al-Sheikho, so again, it's mostly nonsense, like, but like I say, you're a product of your era, like, and you can't help but just be that, you know. But let's see what happens with these super middleweights, and we'll maybe do a wee video on it after. Bye bye.